Hello and welcome to the Dwarven Metropolis. If you've been following my previous guides, hopefully you made it this far. So you know the merchant room is the one with the carpet. So no carpet over here, carpet over here. Hey merchant, here I usually buy the same stuff: healing potions, onks if you can, darts if you got some seeds, etc. And don't forget to pick up the last bag. Anyways, moving on. So the first enemies we encounter in the Dwarven Metropolis are these guys, the ghouls. Look at those beards. Dwarven ghoul. Ghouls are not especially strong on their own, but always travel in groups and are much harder to kill in large numbers. So always check the yellow text. When a ghoul is defeated, it will rise again after a few turns as long as another ghoul is nearby. So these guys are not so tough on their own, but it is easy to get overwhelmed. If you were to get 4 of them on you, for example, they can just chain resurrect and it gets really annoying very fast. So one strategy for that is to get them both low and then take them out at the same time. Watch your health. Oops. And there we go. Look for the text that says you defeated a Dwarven Ghoul, and also look for your experience to move. That's when you know they're actually dead and not coming back to life. Another technique, if you have a bunch of them on you, is to knock one out and then run away and have the other ones chase you. And hopefully they will chase far enough away to get out of the range of the resurrection aura. Our second enemy is the Warlock. Look at that beard. These are some beardy guys. I guess it's because they're dwarves. So warlocks are ranged minions, of course. They possess powerful disruptive magic, and they can hinder the upgrade applied to your equipment. So the more upgraded the item is, the more strongly it will be affected. So that can, let's say you're going all in on a sword, it'll like half or the upgrades on it, making your main equipment very weak. It's very annoying, but just like all range minions, they are very weak in melee, so you can get outside a door or hide, block line of sight, you'll be able to take them out with ease. Kapow! The Dwarven Metropolis is also home to many different elementals: fire elementals, cold elementals, and shocking elementals. Here we have the fire elemental. So they occasionally shoot a range bolt of fire, which will set you on fire. So the best thing to do is get in some water when you fight them. You can also take them out with any cold damage. So if you had a freezing potion or a seed of frost bloom or whatever, that'll work too. Frost wand, I don't have any of those. So we're just going to try and get in the water here. It's probably going to wake up, unfortunately. Not much we can do about that. Oh, see, now we're burning. There we go. Well, get the fire out at least. Fight it. Here we see a frost elemental. Basically just the frost version of the fire guy. Started on floor 17, we find the monks. The monks are kind of annoying because they have this thing called focus. While focused, the next physical attack made against this character is guaranteed to miss, no matter what the circumstances. Monks build focus more quickly while they are moving, so if you're trying to run away from them and take them from range, they will keep getting their focus more often. And also in this room, we have the imp. The ambitious imp. The ambitious imp either wants you to kill monks and collect their token, or kill the golems and collect their token. So I'm actually going to talk to the imp before I kill the monk, just in case it wants me to do the monk quest. This time it wants us to kill monks. Perfect. So we take out 5 of them, collect their tokens, and the reward is ours, which is always a +2 or the +4, I believe, ring. It's a pretty good one. You can get a really good ring off this. It's always cursed, by the way, as well. Here we see the monk token. Dwarf token. There we go. So we just collect 5 of those and come back to the imp. Make note where the imp is on the floor because it can be hard to find them again, especially when it goes translucent. So if you find yourself taking a lot of damage in the Dwarven Metropolis, it's because your armor's not good enough. As you can see, my +3 mail armor just quite isn't doing it. I'm being greedy, waiting for a +1 plate, but I haven't got it yet. And here on floor 18, we find the golems. Golems are big beefy boys. That means they can't fit through tight spaces like doors. But what they will do is golems can teleport themselves between rooms. And they can also teleport enemies to them when they are out of reach. So if you're trying to hide behind a door and shoot the golem, it's going to teleport you right next to it. And also if you eventually leave the room, it's going to teleport itself out of there into somewhere else, which is kind of interesting. They'll just pop up in random places sometimes. But since this is a nice big room, it's not going to teleport me next to it. And I'm also pretty sure they're immune to bleed. Oh, it does teleport you next to it. They also hit pretty hard, have high armor. So we're going back to the imp, and we see he's back to translucent again, so hard to see. So good thing I remembered where he was. You could also check here, and it shows you here on floor 17. Turn in our tokens, and we get, what do we get? A +2 curse ring and sharpshooter. I mean, not bad. I kind of like the taste better though. One trick with the Dwarven Metropolis is to follow the carpet to find the hidden doors. You can also blast shortcuts through the bookshelves if you have something, like a disintegration wand or a bomb. You can also light them on fire. The boss of the Dwarven Metropolis is the Dwarf King of Court. The fight starts as soon as you step into this room. He will appear on his throne. Here he is. So you have these four little things here. Summoning pedestals, and they do exactly what they say. They summon enemies. If you're going for high score, you need to avoid taking any range attacks from the warlocks when they spawn in the summoning pedestals. If you're going for the badge, you need to never attack the king. So how do you do damage to the king if you never attack him? Well, the king will do a lifelink to its minions, which shares the damage, and then you attack the minions instead. I don't know if it just takes time or when exactly how to make it do the lifelink. It'll do it eventually. There you go. There's the lifelink. You can see any damage taken is shared between them. So now we just hit the minion. During this fight, it's very good to focus down the ghouls because you don't want to get overwhelmed by them. There's a lifelink. And here we see the green. That means a monk is about to pop out. When you see the purple, that's the warlock. The white is the ghouls, of course. So I'll throw a ranged weapon to break the parry, and then we'll go in with a melee here. So at this point, you see we found some plate armor, and at +6, we are extremely strong, and we are just sitting here taking all damage. So you may think, oh look, I'm about to win, but no, this is just the first phase. Here we go, we start phase 2. In phase 2, the king just summons enemies and is completely immune in the throne. If you're going for the badge, be careful not to hit your hotkey too fast because the auto target will go on the king. Also, when these spawn, they take a turn. So notice me standing next to it, it spawned and then swung at me right away. So it is better to stay one away from it. And here we go on to phase 3. So the biggest trick for phase 3 is actually to use one of these aggression stones, because in phase 3 the king is constantly spawning minions very fast, so it's very easy to get overwhelmed. So actually let's go ahead and use that aggression stone now. The aggression stone makes all the minions attack the king instead. And now here's the trick with phase 3 is that the king is actually taking deferred damage, so it's only taking a couple every turn and it slowly builds up. So it took 13, then it took 6. So basically the king is going to take damage very slowly while you constantly get overwhelmed by minions. So if you can get the minions all attacking it, and then if you have some way to go invisible or freeze time or hide, the deferred damage will then, look, it only has 35 health left, but 59 deferred damage remaining. So if you can just hide out and pass the time, you can get the win. So the aggression stone wore off, but I think we have enough damage there. 69 noise. And what I'll do is I will go ahead and put myself in stasis, and that deferred damage ticks down, and boss slain. GG, we have beaten the Dwarven Metropolis.
Running from cake.